Welcome, Dr. Walid, and hope, inshallah, it will be a very nice presentation and hope everyone will benefit from it. Dr. Walid, inshallah, welcome to our talk show tonight.
So thanks very much, Dr. Hisham. It's my honor and pleasure to be a guest with my Egypt Academy tonight, and hope your guests on Facebook enjoy this talk. So actually, I made this talk 3 years back in Egypt because I believe it's very important and essential for everyone to know how to create a professional CV. Thanks for your kind introduction, Dr. Hisham. As you know, as Dr. Hisham said, my name is Walid Al-Habashi, and I'm working currently as a senior reg in the Mater University Hospital, one of the highest caliber in Ireland. And I'm moving to Leeds General Infirmary Hospital as a consultant anesthetist soon. So the objectives of this lecture, or by the end of this lecture, you will know the different definitions of different terminologies of CV, like CV, resume, biography, and the difference between all of these, and the cover letter you are requested to submit sometimes if you're applying for a job like a fellowship.
Yes. Before we start, inshallah, I just want to make it clear that the idea that I found very interesting in your topic today is that you will not be talking about just how to write a CV, like how to categorize and how to put your CV in an order or make it like how it looks like a nice CV. The interesting point is that you are really focusing on how to start building and creating your CV from the scratch. It's like a long-term process that starts from the scratch from your early years of training. This is what I found really interesting.
Absolutely. So I'm re-emphasizing that the importance, or why you need to write your CV, it is how you write your book of life, why you're living. So we will emphasize this at its points. What are the big do's and the big don'ts in writing your CV? And then we'll go to the main or two special tips I find myself the most critical 2 points, and this will be the end of this talk. So before we start, few housekeeping points, Dr. Hisham. I have no conflict of interest. I carry no legal responsibility, and that's very important to highlight in the beginning. As Dr. Hisham said, I am the CEO and head of Saving Lives Academy, which is running to multiple different courses in anesthesia, critical care, and personal development. Most of these courses are running for free. Very few of them are running for profit. Actually, it's not a real profit. It's to support the academy and maintain the website and to improve the courses level. The language of this talk, I'm talking in English. This is how I believe everyone in the medical field or anyone discussing anything related to the medical field should be talking. Sometimes we relax a little bit. You're very welcome to ask your questions in Arabic or in a mixed language, but I would prefer to keep it as much as you can. Fake it till you make it. Leave the comfort zone to speak in Arabic. Try to make everything, even your questions, in English. But as I said before, you are so welcome if you would like to ask me the questions in Arabic.
Good. Thank you so much, Dr. Walid. Do you want to start now?
Yeah. So definitions. Are we live now, Dr. Hisham, still?
You want to start the screen? Sharing the screen?
I thought it's still sharing.
I will start adding it now. Yep. So you've got the definitions now. You can go for it.
Perfect. So definitions that we're talking about, there are 4 different words that we used to see, and we don't really know what are the real differences. CV, resume, biography, and sometimes if you're applying for a fellowship post, they ask for a cover letter. These are 4 different entities, and you need to know what are the differences between each of them. CV is a Latin or Greek word abbreviation of curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae translates in English into journey of life, or scope of your life, or course of your life. So it should be very detailed. It contains every small single detail about your clinical life, like your professional life, not whole life. So it should contain your basic training, your advanced training, your researches, your audits, your management and leadership skills, your personal skills, and everything is in details. Resume is a term that is used in the United States of America and Canada when you're applying for jobs. It is a summary, or it's a French word to sum up. This is the abbreviation of, or the meaning of resume. It's to sum up. To sum up here means it's a very short and concise one. So it is similar to the biography, but in UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, and most of Europe, there is no difference between CV and resume. So if they are asking for a resume, it depends on the country. If you are working in the United States or Canada, they're asking for a very short CV, like 2 pages. If they need more detailed, and this resume is usually used to apply for clinical jobs, like a registrar or senior reg, while the CV is usually used for research jobs because it contains your audits, your researches, your quality improvement projects in full details. But if you are applying this in Europe, they are always used alternatively. CV equals resume. So you need to be like aware of these differences. So what is biography? Biography is 1 page, and it is talking about you with the third voice. Okay, we'll come to that point when we are going
Dr. Reed, can you hear me? I guess the internet is a little bit
going again.
slow.
The cover letter is why you are interested in this post or this fellowship or this job. So you are selling yourself, but in a paragraphic way. You see this, it's paragraphs. There is no dots. Okay, so you're just saying, I had seen while searching for a job this fellowship post, and I think I fit, or I trust I fit to this post because of so and so, and you are advertising yourself.
Dr. Reed, are you still there?
This is a cover letter, and then this full name. It depends on the system of the country you're working or you're applying for. So CV is a full detailed one. Alternatively, resume can be used as same in Europe, UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia. Biography, it's completely different. It's 1 page mentioning your interests, and it is in third voice. And you know now the difference between all of that and the cover letter. So there are 4 different entities. You need to be aware of them.
Dr. Walid, sorry for interruption. Just to clarify, so when we apply for jobs online, because most of the Egyptian doctors now are trying to go overseas and apply jobs online, they will ask for a CV or for a resume or for a cover letter, or they actually specify exactly what they want?
Okay, so they will ask in an email if they wish for a CV or resume. Again, you know the mindset of the country you're applying for. If you're applying for United States, Canada, resume is completely different entity from CV. But if you're applying in Europe, if they say resume, they will accept CV alternatively. So they are almost the same application or the same document for either way. So if you're applying in Europe, like United Kingdom, Ireland, France, Italy, like all Europe. While the biography, if you're attending any conference or presenting any poster presentation or a lecture presentation or a talk, so they will ask you for a biography. I will show you different examples while we're going through these ones inside.
And just to clarify also one single point,
Sure.
when we write the cover letter, is it addressed to a specific hospital and specific place, different than the CV and resume, or does it make a big difference? I mean, should I write cover letter for
Sure.
each position I apply for?
Thanks. It's a very nice question, Dr. Hisham. Actually, cover letter differs and CV still differs. This is a surprise here. The wrong concept in our minds usually is, I'm not saying you're wrong, but this is a wrong concept in our mindsets, that CV is something standard and I will just change the cover letter. But during my presentation today, I will convince you that CV shouldn't be fixed. So it depends which job you're applying for. I'll give you a good example from our career. In anesthesia, we cover 3 different specialties: anesthesia, critical care, and pain. And if you're covering anesthesia, there is subspecialties: obstetrics and pediatrics, cardiothoracics, neuroanesthesia, different subspecialties. So if I'm applying to a consultant post in cardiothoracic anesthesia, I will highlight and emphasize every single point in my CV in this area as subspecialty. I will put that first point in my clinical training. While if I'm applying for neuroanesthesia or I'm applying for pediatric anesthesia, I will modify my CV again to match this job. So cover letter is tailored to the specialty or the fellowship you're applying for, as well as the CV.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dr. Reed.
Yeah. So any more questions before we proceed to the next slide?
Guys, anyone who has any questions, please just put it down in the comment, and I'll be asking Dr. Walid. So if you have any questions, just please write it in the comment. All good, Dr. Walid. Go ahead.
Yeah. Perfect. So why do you need to write a professional CV? First of all, your CV is your passport. It's you. You need to do the best to make it possible to go to the airplane and to travel your journey. So imagine your passport is untidy, or is showing your name non-clear, or showing wrong spelling or spelling mistakes or wrong grammar. What will be the impression of the reader at the airport? He will be in doubt of you, and it may result that you are not taking this journey, or at least delays. So I need you to deal with your CV as you deal with your passport. It's a very precious document, extremely precious document. So when you write your CV, don't rush writing that. Don't think about modifying your CV one day before the job application. You have to spend time on that. Okay, so CV is as important as your passport. It should focus and highlight every single PowerPoint you have. So make it focused. It should highlight all your experiences. Does not mean to highlight that you highlight it by highlighter or put it in colored lines or put lines underneath. But if you are powerful in certain areas, it should come first in a chronological manner, but it should come first. Your CV must leave an impression with your CV reader. The recruiter comes at the end of every CV with an impression. Either, can you see my mouth? Can you see my mouse? Okay.
Yep.
Can you see my mouse moving here?
Can you give it a move? No, not really.
Okay, so we have 3 icons. The left one, the recruiter is not happy at all.
Yeah.
There is a lot of grammar mistakes, a lot of spelling mistakes. It's not tidy enough. Or he may come with a neutral impression. That's not your aim. Your aim is really to leave the rightmost impression. You need to leave a strong, good impression. And surprisingly, I submit CV modified for every single post, and I hear a comment in my interviews all the time. Your CV is very tidy, your CV is very organized, and I will show you some pieces of my CV while we're going on. It is making his life easy. Imagine your recruiter needs to read 20 CVs, and you are to the point and making his life easier. It will leave an impression, and this is what you want. Okay. Your CV is very important because it contains your references or your referees. They are using alternative words. I heard a lot of time, don't use the word referees from Irish and British people. And I heard the same. It is not named references, it's named referees. So it's kind of conflict between these two different words, and nobody knows who is right and who is wrong, unfortunately. So I use the word references. Some people using the word referees, saying references are just in publications and research work. Your referees are referees because they are judging your clinical expertise. This is one of the offenses I heard that. It is different
in
again.
Australia, we usually use referees in Australia. So I'm not sure about UK. Is it the same or different? But in Australia, it's always referees.
Believe me, I heard from both
British.
British people, and they are like British to British father and grandfather. They say references and defending their point of view, and they say referees and they defend point of view. I'm not sure what is right, but in the moment, I'm leaving it as references. Just to let you know that. Okay, so again, please make sure it's a vital point. If you miss a letter in the email of your references, that is a killer. That's very bad impression about yourself. If you don't write your references, names and emails correct and reviewed 3 times at least, that's a very bad impression. So make sure about this point. CV is variable according to the institute you're applying for. So it may be the CV you made in a PDF format or a Word format yourself. So you need to spend good effort on that one. Or it is just a waste of time and effort because the institute you're applying for is asking you to make a web-based CV, and they are asking for the items they wish to know about. So again, if this is the case and it is web-based CV building, you copy paste from your CV to the website because you don't want to waste any of your expertise during your focus or improper focusing because it's a web-based. You don't want to waste any of your clinical or research experiences because it's a lengthy process. So keep your CV in hand, and when you are doing the web-based, just copy and paste from your document as a Word or a PDF format. So it depends on the institutions you are using. Okay, so like the NHS in UK, they don't use these CVs that you spent a lot of time and effort and paid sometimes for this for company to make your CV look fantastic with a lot of decorations. They don't use that at all, just to make it a standard with everyone. I don't know how it's going in Australia. But this is the mindset of the British system. In the Irish system, we submit our handmade or the word made PDF is fine. So whatever you like to submit, they are accepting. Okay.
But this is a very good point, Dr. Reed. So you are recommending that even if you go for a web-based application, you actually try to make it exactly the same or as same as possible for your CV. So just to copy paste it so that it looks like the same thing and you don't miss any point from your main CV.
So you spend the whole effort and time, to make one CV, and this will be the backbone of whatever you write anywhere else. So copy paste, not to miss anything, particularly your clinical career. Okay. So now this is a biography that I'm submitting for conferences, and here, as you see, it's eye-friendly. The fonts are the same in the headings and still the same in the subheadings or the text proper. And here it is like in my professional summary, in 2000, he earned his medical degree. So that's the third voice. He finished his master's degree in anesthesia and ICU. He earned like as if someone is talking about me. And this is the difference between biography and CV and resume. Biography uses the third voice because when they introduce you in the conference, they will read your biography. Part of your biography is your affiliation. What is affiliation? Is where you are working now or to which company or institute you are working currently. Like when Dr. Hisham introduced myself, he said he is working as a senior registrar in the Mater University Hospital, or he is working as an anesthesia consultant in Leeds General Infirmary. Okay, so you want to facilitate this to who is introducing you. So this is biography and affiliation. Now, a crucial point. Your biography and your CV are something very personal, so don't copy paste. You need to leave an impression in the CV you submit. How you create that impression, my advice to you, this way. You have to put this summary. This table uses summary. So in the section 0, there is an index showing the content, and this is the index. And that's in page number 1. So the CV should be numbered. The pages, each page should show the numbers. And not only that, believe me, this part of your CV leaves always a good impression because you are a tidy person. You are facilitating the reader's task or mission, and you are making his time short. So if he wants to go for your core training, if it's a soft copy of your CV, you just press the core training and it will take him to this section in your CV. If he is interested in academic and teaching, he will just click the link like any link. Is that something difficult? It's piece of cake. After this lecture, we may do that in a small workshop, like may show you how to do that. So it's a piece of cake. If it is an electronic version and you send that by an email, and even if you convert that to a PDF from Word, it will stay there. You will just want to see your references. He will click this one. It will take him straight away to the references at page 10. This is very important. Always, believe me, 100% of time leaves an impression. This is something unique. Takes you 5 minutes more in your CV writing. So it is essential. But when you do that, believe me, you left him with a smiley face. Everyone has a potential. Everyone has his own unique skills. It's your task to highlight your skills. The do's is how to highlight my skills in a systematic way. The first one, we call this one CAMP, C-A-M-P. If you're following me on my Facebook page, I was talking about this task a few days back. This is how Dr. Hisham picked me, and he said, oh, wow, this is very important. Walid, I need you to talk about that one. Camp, I'm really interested to go in these details. Am I right, Hisham?
Yeah, that's definitely, it was a very interesting point. Actually, I haven't thought about it before. I mean, I'm sure you would go into that in details, but it's a very interesting point. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. A,
We'll discuss these details now. So C is for clinical. Clinical is your basic training, and you need to put that in a chronological manner from the oldest to the newest. Your clinical training. So if you're an anesthetist, for example, or intensivist, in my basic training in Egypt, from that time to that time, I did training in these subspecialties. I was trained in this and that. Okay, so this is your clinical training. Is that only? No, I finished my basic training with a Master's of Science, and my degree was like thesis or essay for fulfillment of this degree was this and that. This is all clinical. Okay, yeah. Clinical means your training and your degrees that you got at the end of this training. If it is like in Egypt, it's MD or PhD and Masters of Science, they don't approve that as a clinical degree unless you say so, because this is research degrees in Europe and different European countries and United States and Canada. So you may not have seen a patient and you got a PhD just because you're sitting in the lab or in the research lab and doing some research statistics and comparing different patients on papers. So you need to highlight this clinical part ended by Masters of Science, or this clinical 10 years of experience ended by MD or PhD. Part of that is to submit thesis for this and that, and my research was on this and published in that. This is the clinical. Academic is two huge entities: the teaching and the research. If you are an assistant lecturer or assistant professor, so definitely you are teaching on regular basis. You have given this number of lectures. Please always don't waste your effort in any lecture without getting a feedback in a written format. Again, how to do that? If you go to my personal page, you will find, or on the YouTube channel savinglivesacademy.com, you will find a small 10 minutes video explaining how to make a Google feedback form. It's almost done for you. All what you need is just to train yourself once or twice. 10 minutes work, nothing more. And then you get a feedback on your teaching. So now you have the black and white, the evidence that you have done this teaching. The second section of the academic is the research work. And research starts from case presentation, case series, randomized trials, prospective or retrospective, all your research work published. Published means peer-reviewed. And this is the most important thing they are asking for. If you say, I have done this research, the first question comes, is it peer-reviewed? Peer-reviewed comes immediately before publication. So it's peer-reviewed, then accepted for publications. Okay? So make sure if you put any publication to be a peer-reviewed publication, if it is research work for publication. If it's an audit and you didn't publish it, just leave it as an audit. Case presentation or poster presentation, and you publish that locally or nationally in your home, you just mention that as is. Okay? So think about clinical and academic this way. M is management and leadership. Okay? Sorry, I need to highlight one point here before I pass to academic. If you didn't make any research project, one of the points that may improve your luck in the CV if you didn't do any research yet, a very good course by Cochrane is called Cochrane Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis. It's 2 to 3 month workshop. It's one of the most valuable courses I have done in my life. It highlights a lot of differences between different research works like randomized controlled, prospective versus retrospective, what is the systematic review, what is the meta-analysis, what is the forest plot, a lot of differences. If you are interested to continue your life in research, that is a mandatory course from my point of view, definitely.
Okay, Dr. Walid, can you repeat again the name of the course, please?
Cochrane Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis. It's 360 sterling pounds course paid, but fortunately as Egyptians, if you finish the whole application as an Egyptian doctor, you are getting the advantage of getting 100% reduced fees. So it will end up as a free course. It's not a free course for everyone. It's for certain countries. This is one of the good benefits that we are Egyptians. So we are getting that as a free course. So, but please, I'm begging you, if you are not taking this course seriously, don't register for it. Please. The last time I was very eager and enthusiastic to let everyone know about this course because I was actually registering and preparing my Visa card to pay the 360 pounds. And I found that it's free at the last step in registration. But when I declared that, I put that on my Facebook, hundreds of people started to register just because it's a free course. And I got an email from the Cochrane, you are one of the last people booked from Egypt. And then we found gush of people coming after you. What had happened? I swear that had happened. I still have the email. I can show you to the Hisham. So it's like, please.
You are known to them now. You are known by name.
No. The point is, If you're not really interested, don't take a slot, because they may be having quota or quotation for every country. If this quotation is 50 or 60, it may close, and you just caused someone deprived from this course that he was really interested in taking that course. I don't know if this is a fact or not, like this quota issue, I'm not sure, but I guess it is, because it was closed for a good while, being for free.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we can lose the advantage that it's kind of free for Egyptians, so we have to be cautious.
So yes, we have to be cautious. That's it. Okay, so management and leadership. Again, if you are organizing the rota of department, that is management. If you are organizing any event or activity like a course, conference, this is a management. If you are doing an audit, okay, and you are dealing with a team, that's management and could be considered leadership. So there is a big difference between manager and leaders in the quality control projects. So try to differentiate the management projects and the leadership projects you did in your life in your CV. Okay, it's very important and crucial if you are applying for a consultant post or a senior registrar post, and you will definitely test what you've written in your interview. So don't write any nonsense in this section, because it's really crucial, particularly if you are applying for a senior post. Be careful of what you write. Never lie.
Dr. Reed, just for everyone to understand, what is the main difference between the manager and the leader?
Okay.
Job description point of view.
Perfect. So the leader has the insight of the change. The manager is responsible for applying that change. The leader leads from anywhere, from the top or from the bottom. So I may be a registrar in the department, but I led one quality improvement project, including few consultants in the department. The manager do the job from top. Okay, there's a lot of definitions between managers and leaders depending on your area. So some people look at the manager as in this image, as he is giving the instructions to who are below himself in the hierarchy. Okay, so the hierarchy contains some people working in this environment or in this area, and he's giving them the instructions, while the leader leads with them. So he is working with them. The manager takes all the credit, while the leader takes no credit. The leader works for the group, with the group, and when there is any credit, he gives all the credit to the group. That's why most people like to be a leader rather than being a manager. In fairness, this is different terminology in different books. So most managers like to be leaders rather than being managers. They say that the manager is keen about his seat, is keen about the strategies, while the leader is keen about the group and the personal development of each member in the group. So there's a big difference between leader and manager. I don't wish to be a manager, but I'd like to be always a team leader. Okay, but still you need to highlight every part of them in your CV. Now, personal sometimes looks something fancy in your CV, yet again it's a very important question in your interview, and you need to highlight that and stick to what you highlighted in your CV in your interviews. So if you are preparing to take an interview and you are expecting a question about your personal skills, don't talk about something you did not write in your CV. That's why you need to think in advance when you are writing your CV, what I'm gonna say in my interview about my personal skills. So if you write drawing, book reading, it's fine. But do you think this is best in the interview, or you say something else? So like you think about communication skills, I have communication skills, or I myself put in my CV scuba diving. And when they ask for me, I say about the scuba dive. When I was doing scuba diving, that's finished or stopped 5 years back. In our life as a critical care and anesthesia doctors, we have burnouts very common, or one of the highest instances in our life. So how I break these burnouts, I go for scuba diving so I can refresh and take a time out and come back fresh. So I'm just again trying to make a point in my CV. Photography, videography, like anything you want. Again, don't lie, just speak yourself. This is what I mean here by personal. Okay? So again, it should be something positive related to your career. Now,
Do you write about your family? You are a married physician, has 2 kids,
that's
3 kids.
another very good point, Hisham, but we'll come to this in few slides. Okay?
Sure.
So your CV should be very concise. You say only what you need to say. Okay? So we'll come to this point. So this is the do's. Okay? Still in the do's, be unique. I'm sure that everyone listening to us here has his unique capabilities, talents. Everyone is different. And your job here is to highlight the positive aspects of yourself. Believe in yourself before trying to convince someone else to believe in you. Everyone can write a good CV, but if I copy paste from one colleague CV, I'm copying what he wrote to himself. So again, your passport is unique and should be unique. It should represent you. You can use template, or you can use what your friend wrote as a template, but don't copy paste. If you like few words of what he said in his CV, you can use these words if you like them and you feel that it represents you. But again, rephrase it, say your words, because when you are talking in the interview and you are talking your CV, that will be more impressive if you write language in your CV and you talk different languages in your interview. So look at the interview, and your CV is just one coin with 2 flips. They need to see the same coin, but in different way. So it is still the same coin. The most common question I get after every lecture about CV writing is, should I put a picture or a photo in my CV or not? I don't know. It depends on your country, your institute. But if you feel that you need to put a CV, it should be a professional CV, like the one in the passport. So another good example of that your CV is resembling your passport. Okay, should it be with a necktie like this person in the photo? I don't think so, but it should be a professional CV, not from the Facebook.
Professional photo.
Yes.
Dr. Walid,
Yes.
we have a question regarding how long is the Cochrane course? How long does it take to finish it?
Okay, so it's 10 different modules. Each module takes a week or 2. So you are expected to finish, if you are a hard worker, 4 to 6 months.
Oh.
It took me 2 months, and I was studying at least 3 to 4 hours a day. So it's a huge course. It's a very big course, and there is a lot of details. If you are really interested, and there is questionnaires as well at the end of each module, and you cannot go to the next module unless you cover all the questions right at the end of first module or the module before.
Okay.
So it is a difficult course. As I said, it's an expensive one. It's not meant to be a free course. It's not meant to be for everyone. If you are really interested in research, I strongly advise that you take it, but you take it seriously. So make sure that you have 3 or 4 months free before you submit your request. It is not a time limited, but I believe if you leave it for 3-4 weeks without doing 1 hour study, you will leave it completely.
Okay.
I know at least 10 colleagues who finished this course after me, because I've given them a hand with the questions and how to answer them. There are some very difficult questions in between. So I had given them a hand and they finished that course. So it's not impossible. It is just difficult to very difficult course. Okay, so if you don't take it seriously, don't take it at all. So here I like this photo. You look at this right beautiful building. Look at this building, how much time and effort it took to put a brick over a brick. How much effort. And this is the end result of your CV on the right hand side. I need you to think about the four pillars or the four foundations: the clinical, the academic, the research, the personal. And you build yourself as if how you want to see yourself at the end. So you have to plan, you have to put the maps for the building, you have to build the basic foundations, you have to improve every single aspect or every single pillar of these pillars or these foundations. Why I meant to say that in this point, because if there is something personal you wrote in your CV and you feel you are not really confident about this part. I wrote that I'm resilient, I'm flexible enough, but that's not real in me. So I need to improve this pillar and work in it as personal level. So I need to get feedback from consultants and they say I'm like now 40, 50%. Now that's my plan to improve that in the coming year. So I will work on this point and then take the feedback next year. And as Dr. Magdi Khalil says, what is not written, not done, what is not monitored is not happening or is not achieved. Okay, so again, you have to keep an eye in an objective way of assessment. So get the feedbacks, see what improved and what did not improve. There is something called personal development plans, and you are writing that in every year in advance, and then see what happened from your plans, what did not happen, and what was the obstacles of your plans which is not achieved, and how you are planning to correct that one. So
This is
personal
very
development,
important topic, Dr.
it
Walid.
is
Very
very crucial. It is very crucial. Personal development plan is a yearly plan, and you put 4 or 5 items. These 4 items at least cover clinical, academic in teaching, academic in research, management and leadership items. This is the 4, again, cornerstones. Clinical, I'm interested to finish this module of cardiothoracic anesthesia or neurointensive care medicine. Academic, I am planning to teach in one of the conferences, national or international. Workshops, I am planning to give this workshop or take this workshop. Research, I am planning to make an audit or case presentation or case series or whatever. Management and leadership, I'm planning to do the management and leadership course by Napier University in Scotland, or one courses of the online courses or whatever. Okay, so you're putting your plan ahead 1 year, and after this year you will come and discuss it with your senior or your supervisor or the lead in the hospital. I succeeded to do this and this and that, and I failed to do this and that, and my failure in this point because of this and that, and I'm planning next year to improve this by doing this and that. This is how you write in your CV your personal development plans. Your personal development plans should be discussed always with someone who is higher than you in the hierarchy, not with a friend, not on non-official basis. Okay, so remember that this beautiful house comes from these small bricks, day after day, hour after an hour. So you have to do the effort continuously to get that beautiful house at the end. It's not
and
CV writing
and
is not sorry, let me complete this sentence only.
yes, yes.
So CV writing does not happen in just 1 hour before applying the job. It is, as I said, curriculum vitae means the story of your life. Okay, story of your life. Okay, go ahead, Hisham.
Exactly, Dr. Walid. I just want to enforce on the same point. It's just I want to make sure that everyone understands that building your CV starts from the first day of your training. You should have this plan, as you said, Dr. Walid, 1 year ahead, and you should put your topics or the pillars that you want to fill in everything under it, and put a plan from your first day of training. You should know what you should be looking at your CV and trying to fill the CV as much as possible. And one by one, you'll find that your CV will become a very decent and very respectable CV.
Honestly, Hisham, I believe that in Europe, and advanced countries, your CV writing starts from medical student. They're
That's right.
always exposed to research project while they are medical student. I was doing a mock interview a couple of months ago for Irish people applying for the SAT scheme in anesthesia, and I was surprised that I didn't receive any of the CVs without 2 or 3 research projects during their medical student period. So they do small or minor rules, but they still highlight that I was sharing in this project and that project. So it is highly recommended to you start your CV as a medical student in the College of Medicine, not
I
when
know
you start your.
someone in the same hospital I'm working in. He's a medical student and he actually has a PhD because he's
Mhm.
done many researches while he is actually studying medicine in his school. So
That's it.
you can be PhD, you can start doing researches, you can start doing audits, you can do lots of things while you're just starting your training. Yeah, that's true.
Perfect. Okay, so do's, we're still in do's. Proofreading, which is essential. Okay, grammars, spelling, accuracy of emails, accuracy of phone numbers is do or die. If you know that do or die, or it's like it's a must. Okay, all what you mention in your CV should be in a chronological order from the oldest or the eldest to the newest. So the new clinical training post is the first thing in your CV. The most recent publication is the first thing in your CV. The most recent management or leadership course is the first in your CV. So it's always in a chronological manner, and the newest comes on top.
Mm.
Be positive, stay positive. They have to get that impression that you're enthusiastic, you're eager. I did 10, 15, 20 years of anesthesia. I still keep every year a new project added to my expertise. So they have to find something new every year. You add it to yourself. If you are in the comfort zone for 2 or 3 years and then you are applying for a job, it would be very hard to convince the panel that after 3, 4 years didn't do anything in your life, just the job, going to the job in the morning and come to your family at the end of the day. It will be hard to convince them that you're still eager and enthusiastic to join this job. So you have to show that in your CV. Every year should show something. And again, I'm saying this is your course of life, the story of your life. Now, use positive words. And if you go to Google and say positive verbs, it will give you more than 500 verbs. You have to use them and make use of them, and try to make like I trust, I helped, I encouraged, I did, I abide, I adore. Like all these positive words increase the value of your CV. The positive verbs is like hundreds of verbs. I didn't like to bring some of them here, but like there is loads of them. Just Google them and you will find them. Now, less is more. Less is more is a rule in ICU after loads of research, and after that I can generalize that to everything in life. Maybe one word weighs more than 8 or 9 words. That means be concise in your CV, using the strongest areas that show that you are capable of doing this job. So again, there is no CV fits all jobs. If you want to apply for a cardiothoracic anesthesia job, there's no point to mention your Masters of Business Administration. There is no point to mention. I was putting that in my CV at one day, like I made a diploma in social media marketing. But what is the value of social media marketing in a medical CV? I removed that because I felt, yes, I do have it. And I got a real benefit when I'm talking about my YouTube channel and my website. And but it's really beneficial. I thought in this area, less weighs more. So anything that may be distracting in your CV, remove it. A very good example, what Hisham asked me about it a few minutes ago, is marital status, okay? Armed forces services, okay? I was living in Egypt and then I moved to Saudi Arabia and then to Ireland. Different addresses doesn't make any sense. Your religion doesn't mean anything. Okay, marital status, how many children, all that should be omitted completely from your CV. It just nothing at all. Like you have to mention everything about yourself in your CV. They need to see you more. No, this is, you're just distracting them and giving them hard time to read your CV. And finally, you should be consistent in your CV writing. Consistent means you are using the same fonts, the same size of the fonts for headings, subheadings, and text proper in your CV. You're allowed to use 2 or 3 different font sizes in your CV. Give them the comfortable sight when they look at your CV. So when everything is organized in a nice way and it carries inside less words but powerful enough, you are giving them the comfortable experience at the end when they are assessing your CV. Okay, so what are the don'ts here? Don't rush. Never rush. If you are in a hurry, don't write your CV. You are doing harm more than good, because all the items that we had spoke about cannot happen in just 30 minutes. Don't ask one of your colleagues to write your CV because you're rushing. That's a killer. Again, make it concise, so do not repeat any paragraphs. Do not repeat any of the courses. Do not repeat any publications. When they read your CV and they found 2 lines or 3 lines repeated with the same message behind, you wasted their time for a minute or 2, and this leaves you with a bad impression. So respect their time. Never copy paste from a friend. Read his CV. I like these words. Take them and rephrase them. You can rephrase them if you like and you feel that this represents me. The killer is a gap in your clinical work for more than 28 days or a month. Cover the gap by any means. I'm not saying to lie, but you have to find a reasonable justification. This gap is killing this gentleman. So avoid the gaps in your clinical cover for this employment history. Mr. Pinocchio, never lie. Never lie. Say what you do. Because in modern countries, they will consider you are honest until you lie only once and they discover it. And then you are a liar all the time. They don't forgive for lying. So speak yourself. Be honest. Avoid using capital letters in the words, like full word in capital letters. This means you're shouting, if you don't know that. Avoid using reds and colored words with multiple colors to highlight your experience. That's not acceptable. You may use blue and black. This is the approved colors in your CV writing. And if it's all in black, will be much better. Use links in your letters. I may show you that. Avoid flashy words, avoid large fonts, avoid this. It looks like jargons. Don't use it. So if I want to summarize, go ahead.
Before we move from the previous slide, what do you recommend if someone has a gap in his CV, like he didn't work for some time or something like that? Should he mention it, or what should he do in this gap?
Okay, what I can say that if he is doing any research work, he can fill that with a research work. If he was doing teaching or fully dedicated for teaching, particularly a lot of assistant lecturers and lecturers in our country are traveling after 1 year, no practice, but he's getting the experience certificate, covers the whole area, so he can do that. At the end, you have to justify if you didn't work for this gap, why you were not working, which is really hard to be accepted. I don't know myself. I never had this experience. Again, you need to be planning ahead, Hisham. So if you are planning ahead, you are not taking any gaps more than 28 days because you know that this is
A gap
this is
that should
a
be
game
filled
a
in.
game a game losing point. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
don'ts. Sorry, we finished the don'ts. The final tips. First final tip, which is crucial, is you are building your CV depending on the job you are applying for. You need to highlight in your 10 or 20 years of career the areas that fits this job. That means you need first to read the job description. If they need one with major capabilities and talent in teaching, don't highlight the clinical. You have to highlight the teaching and academic. If they need a CEO, even if small DGH, you have to highlight your managerial and leadership skills. You will still mention everything, but you need to make it as a percentage of 60% in this area and 40% of other areas. So magnify, without lying, the area that fits this job. Make yourself fitting this advertised job in your CV. So CV is changing according to your job you're applying for, to the job you're applying for. Okay? And the final tip, second final tip here, imagine this table in front of the recruiter and he has this 10 or 15 CVs on the right hand side and 10, 15 CVs on the left hand side, and he picked one CV. You need that to be yourself. How to do that? All the effort should be done beforehand. Work on yourself. See your weaknesses and improve it. Write your CV to make the first impression, best impression for the recruiter. First impression, best impression. Thanks so much. Your questions are welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reed. Thank you so much. Very interesting topic and very important topic. I would like to encourage everyone, if they have any questions, please just write it in the comment, and I will ask Dr. Reed if you have any questions. I think we have maybe 5 minutes more. I don't want to.
Hisham, may you allow me to share my Word file to show them practically how to make jump of in the CV? I promised them to do that. 1 second.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Yes, please.
Yeah, perfect. So can you see this Word format now? This is my CV. Can you see that?
So this is just a Word format, Dr. Reed?
It is Word format. Yeah, this is a Word file.
Okay, so it's just a Word file, and then you put the links there and the
So
links
can you
to
see it's core training in Egypt? Do you see that?
yes.
Okay, if I click it, it will take me to the core training in Egypt.
In your CV. Okay.
Yes. So I'll go again, and this is another element here.
But it's not showing. Are you pressing the link or you're just?
Yes, I'm just pressing the link. It will take me to that text.
Okay.
How to do that? The first thing, I will just highlight the area I want to go for, and then
Dr. Reed, we cannot see if you are doing something. We just see the Word document.
Yes.
We can't see if you're doing anything else.
So I will click this member of Egyptian Medical Syndicate and do a right click. Okay. Can you see my mouse now? Can you see my mouse moving?
No,
okay.
Not really.
Okay,
No,
so we'll just go highlight and then go with style. And in the style, you will put this in heading and select one of the headings, like header or heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and add this section to the heading. Can you see now? So it's changed. And then I will go up in the area I want to link, okay, in my document. Like, for example, I will put in references, and I will right click and write hyperlink, and then I will add that in the hyperlink. It will bring me the area I had put as heading before. Unfortunately, it cannot show in the restream,
Yeah,
but it's
can
very
show,
easy.
yeah.
You can alternatively, you can Google how to hyperlink in Word document, and it will guide you in 5 or 6 minutes how to do that.
But what you're saying, Dr. Reed, is that you need to send this Word document with your CV. Should it be with your CV if you're gonna
This is my CV.
attach it to an email or something?
No. If you are submitting this document, this CV document, this is the CV. So this is my
Yeah.
CV,
Ah,
and
this is
this
how
is,
it looks. Ah,
yes,
okay.
this is my CV. Yes. So if you just
Mm,
press in this area research in my Word
mm,
or PDF file, you just press the link. It will take you to the
yeah.
research and academic activity.
Okay. I got your point. So
So
this is how it looks, your CV, and then they just have to click on whatever link you're putting there to take them to the main point that you are talking about in your
if you
CV.
want to read my CV page after page, that's well and good. That's regular
Mm,
PDF form, and it works if you make it as Word document, and then you
mm,
convert it to a PDF. It will work as well in the PDF.
yeah.
So all what
Mm,
you need to do is give them this document, and they will go either one page, 2 page, 3, or they just want to see. Okay, I want to see how many audits he did. You just press the audits, and it will take him the
mm,
section of audits straight away. So you're just saving him the time of going.
yes.
He said audits is in page number 7. So instead of scrolling down until he reaches page number 7, he just need to click the audits, and it will take him straight away to the audits section.
Yeah, very concise and very nice way of doing it. I like it.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be
It's very, like, you give the message to the recruiter that you are interested to save him the time and effort.
and you are very organized. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
This
very
is how
nice.
you leave. This is how you leave the smiling face impression at the end. You will leave him impressed by how you wrote your CV, how much effort. This is your passport. My passport is a special passport. It's not like any other passport.
Very nice, very nice. Thanks so much, Dr. Reed. That was very nice. I'm just gonna give them a few minutes just to make sure we are not missing any questions. Dr. Mahmoud, he was asking about, I think, about the courses again. I think Dr. Mahmoud, Dr. Walid mentioned that the course is it's a difficult course. It takes some time to finish. I guess maybe between 2 or 3 months if you're really studying very hard, like every day. So it's a long course, but it's a very good course. I haven't attended the course, but apparently
Okay.
it's a very important one.
For your guests, Dr. Hisham, if anyone is interested to text me in private, because it's not that easy to find that course via Google search, and they made that on purpose. They don't want to be like easy access. So if you want to text me on the messenger, and they will answer you with the link to the course so you can go straight. But again, please, if you are not taking the course, don't register for it.
Dr. Mahmoud has a different question. He's asking if you have to write all the courses that you attended in your CV, like put all the courses that you have attended in your CV. It will be so long, like it will be too many paragraphs or pages. Is that okay, or kind of not really desired?
That's fantastic. There is difference between long courses and CPD point courses. Okay, still they are expecting CVs from 10 to 15 pages. If you feel your CV is up to 40 pages, that may be good if you're applying for a CEO or a head of department job. But if you're applying for a senior registrar or registrar post, 10, 15 pages are more than enough. Again, you highlight what you see as essential to highlight in your CV. Still, if it is 1 hour CPD point or 2 hours CPD points, the appraisal or the evaluation you get at the end of each year that you are satisfactory in your knowledge progress and your clinical expertise, this will cover this area. So if I took 50 hours every year by 20 years of my experience, that means 1,000 lines if every course I made is 1 line. So you have to neglect past history, like ancient history of the courses and things you did attend as CPD points. But if it's 3 days course, and this course you see is adding a lot of knowledge and added some certain skills, and you want to mention that, like airway workshop, I never remove the airway workshops from my CV. because we are managing the airway. I never remove ultrasound workshops from my CV, even if it's dated, but I don't mention every single course. Like I had done BLS and ACLS maybe 10 times or 12 times. I don't mention every one by date. If you're repeating certain course, you will write, I took this ACLS course as renewal, and you mention the dates that you had done the previous courses in just one line. This is one of the nice ways of renewal of your ACLS course or BLS or Fundamentals of Critical Care Support, whatever the course.
Good. Any more questions? Anyone? One of the main things, Dr. Reed, that I took from your presentation today is, first of all, that you have to start thinking about your CV ahead, really, and even from the start of your training. Second point is, which is very important, I found, which I actually didn't used to do, is that you don't have to have a consistent CV for every job. The CV changes by the job that you are applying to. So, and you have to highlight whatever is more important to that job. That was very, very nice. 2 points that I really, and the Word document, which I'll be doing from now on. That's a nice one. All right, I think that's it. I don't have any questions here. The video will stay on Facebook for, I think, 1 day or something. If you want to access Dr. Walid, or you want to message him privately, his Facebook, can I put your link for the Facebook page on the...
Walid spells W-A-L-I-D. Al-Habashi spells as A-L-H-A-B-A-S-H-Y, not I, S-H-Y. And just write my name on the Google, hopefully you will find it.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Walid, and you have a good night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we go, Dr. Walid, Marish, we have Dr. Mahmoud. He has another question. I think he's asking about LinkedIn.
Yes.
What do you mean by that, Dr. Mahmoud? Yeah.
Walid Al-Habashi is still Walid, W-A-L-I-D, Al-Habashi, A-L-H-A-B-A-S-H-Y. I have my name is the same on all my social media. Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all the same.
Thanks so much, Dr. Reed. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed this talk show with Dr. Reed on a very important topic about your CV. Inshallah, we'll be inviting Dr. Reed more than once, inshallah.
Welcome
in the next few months.
Just last comment, Dr. Hisham. So I have a Facebook page with Saving Lives Academy name, so you can follow that. There is YouTube channel under Saving Lives Academy name, and I have a website under Saving Lives Academy name. There is a lot of courses, more than 70% or maybe even 80% are free of charge. So please feel free to visit the pages, and your comments are really welcome if I can help at any time. I'm responding to social media accounts as quick as I can. So if I don't answer you, please be patient till I can answer you back. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Dr. Reed. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.